Welcome to the Biblical Parenting Coaching Program. I'm glad that you're a part of this. I think you're going to find it to be really meaningful as you work with parents to help them make major changes in their lives. What I want to do in this video is I want to help you get set up properly so that you can maximize the things that are going on in this program. And the setup process, there's a lot of information you want to get all at the same time. So let me help you slowly, if maybe, stop the video when you need to, do the part that we're talking about, and then come back to the video and watch the next part, because there's a lot of moving parts here that you'll need to understand. The first thing you need to understand is how Joanne Miller and I work with the National Center for Biblical Parenting and the coaching program. All of your questions, everything that you want, you need to come to me. Use my email address, which you must have already, and ask me questions about the coaching program. The only thing you want to go to Joanne Miller for is if you have to enter a parent into the program, or you're stuck with Biblical Parenting University with your login information. She only handles the administrative function of that. Any other questions that you have about working with parents or how you do the program or anything like that, come to me. Email me, and we'll move forward that way. Now, Joanne is going to get you into 2 different classes in Biblical Parenting University. Let's talk about that first. When you get into Biblical Parenting University, you'll have login information that gives you access to 2 classes. One class is BPU 301. That's your coaching class. That's your training program. It contains the downloads. It contains all the information that you need to be trained as a coach. There's another class called BPU 301P, and that P stands for parent. That's the one that the parent's going to receive. So I want you to have that so you can see what the parent is going, how the parent is working along with you. Now, there is some overlap between the 2 of them, but you want to be familiar with the parent class so that you can see what your parent is working on. You do not give your parent class to a parent. What you do is you send the information, the email address and the name of the person that you're working with to Joanne. And when you do, that's Joanne at biblicalparenting.org. Joanne will log them in, make them a student of Biblical Parenting University, and during this training portion, your client gets in for free. Instead of paying the $200 to do it on their own, or the $50 that it costs ongoing, when you're working with someone, you send them later on to Joanne. It'll cost them $50 to get in. Instead of doing that, you're going to now just send the information to Joanne. You want Joanne to know the name and email address, and Joanne will get your parent into the program. They will then get BPU 301P. You'll have a copy of it as well, so you can see what they can see. So those are the 2 different classes that you have access to. Let's go to the BPU 301. In BPU 301, you will have access to all kinds of downloads. Go to the welcome page. On the welcome page at the bottom, make sure you do this right away, is create an electronic file on your computer that contains all of the electronic files, all the electronic reporting forms. I want to say this now because there's a lot of things going on in this program. You're going to forget this, and then you're going to try to fill out the printed ones that are PDF ones, and you're going to be frustrated because you're going to be editing a PDF. Don't do that. Go to the electronic ones. They're on the welcome page at the bottom. Download them all, put them into your electronic file, and every week when you send me reports, use the electronic files. There's ones in there you can send to the parents too. They can fill out electronic forms if they're sending them to you. Sometimes that's helpful. Sometimes they don't fill out the forms. You just handwrite them. That's whatever you do is fine. You just need to know that there are electronic forms that are much easier than the PDF forms. The electronic forms are Word documents where the boxes expand as you type. Make sure you get those electronic forms. Now that's going to get you into the BPU 301. Watch the welcome week material that's there. Watch the week 1 videos that are there so you kind of know what's going on. And you'll have everything that you need for Biblical Parenting University. That's one whole part of the program. The next thing you're going to do, once you have that going, is you have to get onto Slack, which is the interactive platform. You will be sent information and an invitation based on your email address to join Slack. Slack is the interactive platform where you're going to have a room And I have a room, and I'll be telling stories in my room. You'll be telling stories in your room, and we'll visit each other's rooms along with all the other rooms that exist based on the students or coaches in training in this program. So go to Slack, log into Slack, make sure you understand how to work Slack. You might watch a tutorial video on how to use the Slack environment, just so you're aware of what's going on and how to post and how to type and so on. So make sure that you've got Slack down. There's a lot of pieces there that you want to understand. Take some time to get used to it. Introduce yourself in the group. It's a great way for you to get used to the program, is just to introduce yourself. Then you'll have other assignments once you get a parent as you outfit your particular room. So we call them channels, and you'll see them in there. That's the Slack environment. You'll get in there, start using it, make comments, read the introductory material. I put a lot of information in there. How to get started strong. There's one channel, Starting Strong. Download that information. There's videos I post, like this one I'll post every week in the channel so that you can see what's going on. You'll only get access to a channel each week as I create them, so you'll have them set up for the weeks and know what's happening. So get inside of Slack, understand what that looks like. That's your next task. Maybe you need to stop the video here, go deal with Slack, come back when you're ready, and we'll talk about the next thing. The next thing is to get your parent. And you'll want to find a parent that has a problem. Don't just go to some friend of yours and say, hey, would you help me with this program? I'm taking a class and I need some parent. That's okay if you want to work with someone you know, but make sure that the parent has a real problem they're working on, number one. Number two, make sure that the parent is willing to do the work. I would encourage you to get a child who has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, who's adopted into a home and having some anger issues, or that you're having a teenager who's being disrespectful, or you're having a 4-year-old who runs away continually. Find a problem, because when you find big problems, you see big miracles take place. I want you to have a lot of confidence in God's grace working through you in this program. In order to do that, you got to have a problem that you're working on. So I would encourage you to find a parent that, number one, has a problem, number two, who's willing to do the work. There's a lot of work involved on the parent's part if they're going to see change, because we use training, not just correction, and that training is change on the part of the parent so that we can see change on the part of the child. So again, choose your parent wisely, and you do have the opportunity in this training to take on 2 parents. If you feel like you can handle that and you want to do it, feel free. It's the same process. I'll give you 2 rooms, 1 room for one parent, 1 room for the other parent, so that you keep them separate and we can interact about each case individually. Once you have your parent, then you send the parent's name and their email address to Joanne Miller. Joanne will get them into BPU. They can watch the welcome video. They can start working through the process under your leadership. The work that parents have to do is substantial. They'll do a lot of watching videos, and they'll do a lot of practice sessions with their child, and they'll meet with you on a regular basis. It is possible that they may take a vacation, but even on vacation, you can usually have a phone call, and you can certainly work with your children while you're on vacation. So the vacation isn't a problem. Go ahead, take a vacation. If you need one yourself, you're taking a vacation. That's fine. Just make sure you're connected to your computer so you can be learning in and around your vacation the things that are going on. There are expectations for your client. Those expectations you're going to find in the BPU 301 program. So find those and send those expectations to the parent. This is what you're expected to do. So you're recruiting someone who's actually going to do some work, not just tag along with you as you go through this course. So be ready to do that as well. Now, if you can get into BPU, Biblical Parenting University, and you can get onto Slack and you can get your parent, then I will see that, because you'll be interacting in Slack about it, and we'll be talking about it there. I'll see that your parent's in there. You'll be introducing your parent in there. Your parent does not go into Slack, just you do, but you'll be setting all of that up. I will see that in there, and then I will see that you've introduced yourself. All of that will take place. If you get stuck, you contact me at my email address, scott@biblicalparenting.org. I don't know how to work Slack. I'm stuck with this, or whatever it is. There's an email that I'm sending you with all kinds of details in it and this link to this video. So I'd encourage you to read that email clearly. And if you're stuck, then contact me. I will help you with technical support. I will help you with emotional support. I will help you with your parent. If you're stuck, can't get a parent, talk to me. I will give you a parent that you'll work with on the phone. You can work on the phone with someone outside of your area, or you can work with someone in your area in person. I like to work with people on the phone. That's what I do most of the time. And look in my channel, I'm telling stories. I'll be telling stories right from the beginning of new clients that I'm starting right now. I have 10 clients right now, and so I'll be telling stories about those. So you want to look in there, and I'll keep you up to date about what's going on, just so you can get more insight into how this program brings about change in the lives of children, because it ties into God's grace, it's biblical, it's practical, and so on. Be sure also to check out the expectations for graduating from this program. All of that is in your BPU 301 at the bottom in that welcome section. So check it out, and then get into Slack, interact with me, let me know. Then I'll know you've been successful. So there's a lot of work here just to get set up. That's why I'm turning the lights on here a little bit early, so that people can get in, introduce themselves, and then we'll be ready to hit the ground running on week 1 with all of the tasks that we need to do. So take care of those things, and any questions you have, feel free to contact me at my email address. Thank you very much.